shaking bacon resale rabbit here with a live video from my office. I've got you on my computer here so I can actually see the live chat. And it looks like it's just starting to load. Whoa, there's a delay. So anyways, so you bought a washer and dryer at a storage auction. How do you test it? I am really tripping out with watching the delay right here. But anyways, how do you test a washer and dryer? Well, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just sell it as is, untested. Most items, especially items that size, if they're storing it, chances are it works. I mean, who's going to pay to store something that big if it doesn't work? But what if it stopped working in the storage unit? How does this happen? Well, it's very simple. It gets cold out, especially in the wintertime, or at least it does up here. And if you don't drain your washing machine and you put it in a storage unit, it's gonna freeze and it's gonna cause the thing just to pour out water. I had one that I sold. I sold a washer and dryer set for $200, and the customer basically sent me a video of the water just pouring out in his basement. So yeah, I refunded him on that and decided I need to figure something out. Now, if you've been following along, in one of the last storage units I bought about a week ago, I found a really nice washer and dryer set. It's only like a year old. They still sell the same model, and that model sells for $1,179 per piece. So $1,179 for the washer and for the dryer. So I think I can get a good $1,000 for this set, so I'm gonna wanna test it. Now the easiest way is to have an electrician and a plumber and someone to come in and connect all this stuff, get water lines, get a drain line, get electricity for the dryer for that really big plug, and possibly a gas line if you have a gas dryer. But that can get really expensive. So this is going to be a much simpler and cheaper way, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to test the dryer, only the washing machine with this. The dryer, you should be fine on. You look at the cosmetic condition. If the washing machine works, you found it in the storage unit, odds are it's probably going to work. Someone says, that's a big printer. Yes, this is about a $1,000 color laser printer that I found on a Staples pallet about 2 years ago. It was a customer return. It works perfectly fine. I've been using it for quite a while. Downside is toner is like $400. So anyways, I went to the Home Depot and I spent $34.01 on the stuff that I need. And a lot of it, someone says, try washing some of the old and moldy clothes. Hey Chris, how's it going? Anyways, so I went to the Home Depot. I spent $34.01, and I bought some stuff that kind of isn't really necessary. You could do this for much less. So let's start out with the most important thing. I have my Home Depot bag right here. The most important thing is this. It was $6.99. What this is a mixing hose. So you connect these two ends to your washing machine and it just turns it into one. So now you no longer have hot and cold, you just have cold going into both sides. And that will connect to a standard garden hose. Now I paid $6.99 for this, and this was like 10 bucks, 50-foot Home Depot brand garden hose. Pretty standard thing. If you have a garden hose at home, you're covered. You don't even need to buy that. Now this is an unnecessary thing I bought. I figured I'm buying a hose, might as well buy a nozzle. It was on clearance for like 2 bucks. I also got something to store the hose, so I'm going to mount this on the wall. My hose reel is inside. It's in the loading dock, in the truck dock. So I'm going to mount this so I can hang up the hose so it's out of the way so it doesn't get run over by a semi-truck. Also, another unnecessary thing, you don't need that. You really just need the garden hose, this, and one other piece, this thing right here. It is a female to female hose adapter. The reason is because you need something to connect this to this, and they don't connect. So that is what this is for, and this is like 2 bucks. So if you already have a garden hose, you just need this, $6.99, $1.99. It'll cost you, what, 9 bucks? Can't go wrong there. And then you hook it all up, put it outside, because if this thing leaks, well, you don't want it leaking in your house or even in your garage. I'm going to do this right in the parking lot outside. have it hooked up and run a cycle. You don't need to actually wash any clothes. You just need to make sure it doesn't leak, make sure it cycles right. Another thing you're going to want to do, put it in the warm cycle. Not hot, not cold. And the reason is because on warm, it's going to pull from both of these hoses, the hot and the cold. So you want to make sure that the hoses inside the machine that run both hot and cold are not leaking. So that's how you check it for leaks. One final thing you need to consider is drainage. Obviously, when the cycle is finished, all the water needs somewhere to drain. Now I'm doing this in the parking lot, so I'm just going to let it drain right into the parking lot. No big deal. But obviously, if you're doing it in your driveway, in your garage, or it's winter time, you don't really want water draining out. So you've got a few options. You could just have 5-gallon buckets on the ready and have it drain into those, and you dump them down the drain in your house. Or you can connect a hose to the drain hose and put a pump on it to run it into your yard or into a sink or something. You've got options there. If it's summertime, you don't care if it just pours down your driveway. Very simple. You just set the drain hose up and test it. Now also with the washing machine, you obviously need power, so you need to be able to connect, use an extension cord or something to be able to plug it in. A washing machine should plug into a standard grounded 3-prong outlet, the same outlet that you plug a computer into. Let's see what we got for comments. You just sold a really nice set from a unit, but you don't have to worry about freezing here in California. Yeah, if you live in the South and you don't need to worry about freezing, then you don't need to test them. Of course, it's nice to know it works when you sell it. And if you end up doing a lot of these, it might merit having an electrician and a plumber come in and just set you up for it. That way you can just plug them in and test them. You can also test like stoves and ovens with that outlet. Definitely a nice thing to do if you're moving enough volume where it's worth it to have an electrician set that up and a plumber, and then have a gas line put in for a gas dryer and a gas range. You could be talking $2,000 depending on where you live and who you call. But you know, that could be worthwhile if you're selling 4 or 5 appliances a month. Might be worth investing that $2,000. But anyways, that is how you test it with one of these. There was another thing that I saw at the Home Depot that would also work. It would be kind of a pain. There was a little splitter that goes right on your hose spigot and splits into two, so you can put 2 hoses. Probably so you can have a sprinkler on one and a garden hose on the other or something like that. You could put one of those on and just connect the actual washing machine hoses to it, but now you need to be right up against your house. And most people, the spigot for the hose reel is like behind some shrubs, you know, in some gravel and whatnot. It's kind of a pain to get to. And washing machine hoses are only like 4 feet long. So I would definitely recommend this route. Get a hose, get the mixer. This was right next to the washing machine hose stuff at the Home Depot, $6.99. And then this female to female connector was by the actual garden hoses in the garden center for $1.99. And then of course $10 for the hose. Of course, if you want a nicer hose, you can get a nicer one. I don't use them that much, and I think I paid $10 for this to hang the hose up. And then this on clearance, not related, but I figured if I'm getting a hose, might as well get one of these too if I need to wash anything. It's $2. Let's see, where do you sell them? The washer and dryer, I'm going to throw on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Someone said, just got here. Do they work? I don't know. I just got back from the Home Depot with this stuff, so I am going to test them out, and I will update you on another video. Let's see. Looking through the comments here. How long have you been doing this for? Reselling since about 2011. Professionally, and doing storage units. I took a break for several years. I did storage units when I lived in North Carolina back in 2012, 13, and I just started doing storage units again about a year ago. Let's see, I still don't see why you didn't check the pockets of the jeans, simply because there's so many of them. I have probably around 10,000 pieces of clothing in the warehouse right now. It would be a full-time job just checking pockets. I'm sure there's money in something in there, a $5 bill, a $10 bill. It's just not worth the time to go through them all. I'll let my buyer be pleasantly surprised when they find it. Let's see, someone asked if I'm buying any more liquidation pallets. Yes, I will have a video probably in the next couple of weeks with another palette that we'll be going through, and also a follow-up video on these 6 palettes that I showed you, what was that, last week, 2 weeks ago? Also, one of my palette videos going through 6 palettes of the big red bullseye place, that video has over 200,000 views. It is my highest viewed video by a long shot. So I appreciate every one of you that have been watching. I could not believe that. Let's see, where am I located? I am in Green Bay, Wisconsin, also known as the Frozen Tundra, which is why we need to test washing machines. So anyways, that's about all I've got here. Also, if you didn't see the comment on the other video, the storage units that I went through the other day, I found a bunch of gold jewelry and whatnot. I just brought them into a local shop. They offered me $259 for it, or $350 in trade. So I traded it for a bunch of coins, which I'm going to send to the auction and sell at least at break even, maybe a little bit of a profit. But it's an extra $90 in comparison to their cash offer. So $350, maybe a little bit more, will almost pay for the unit. It was all just in 2 little boxes. And then I've got the really nice washer and dryer set. I've got a brand new sectional sofa, some nice furniture, which I'm going to show you in another video, don't worry. But that's all I've got here. That is how you test washing machines. You can test dryers and stoves and whatnot if you actually have plumbers, electricians, connect the necessary receptacles. Expensive, but if you do enough volume, it's worthwhile. But for $9, you can at least test the washing machine with your garden hose right outside where you don't need to worry about it leaking. Someone says, I usually find gold jewelry in women's front pockets. Most of the time, old and worn out jeans. Interesting. Yeah, these were just right in boxes. One of them was brand new from a local jewelry store. One of the, like a Zales or K type place in the mall. It's called Ashcroft and Oak. I don't know if they're a chain or not. But anyways, that's all I got. I will see you guys in the next video. I've got a meeting in like 20 minutes, so I gotta go. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped. Subscribe.